I'm gonna be painting a pair of jeans. I've never painted on fabric before, so this is gonna be super fun. I painted this banner the other day to go outside of my 7th grade ELA classroom, and I wanted some pants to match. So come along and let's see how this goes. All right, so I got my jeans traced out. The way that I did it is I used my projector and I projected it right onto my jeans, and then I used a black paint pen to trace it. I tried to use a chalk pencil and I tried to use a white paint pen, but my jeans are too light and so it didn't show up. You don't have to use a projector for this. I've seen other people like trace out their design on paper and then lay it out and then trace it onto the pants. So there's different ways that you could do this. This is the front of my design, and then I also am gonna do the back. So now that it's traced out, I'm going to paint everything in white to make sure that the colors really pop. When you use a fabric medium, it makes the paint act like the fabric, and so it's gonna flex and move with the fabric. Whereas if you paint directly with acrylic paint, it's gonna crack or it's gonna like peel off. So what I've learned is that you can do 1 part paint and 1 part fabric medium, or I've also seen 1 part paint, 2 parts fabric medium. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. I guess we'll kind of figure it out as we go. I think I did a 1:1 ratio, but it could be more or it could be less. I just kind of eyeballed it. But my mixture is pretty liquidy. I want that because I want it to soak into the jeans. I did 1 coat of white, and I'm gonna let it dry before I decide if I'm gonna do 1 more coat or if I'm just gonna move on to the colors. I'm worried that if I don't do another coat, you're gonna be able to see my black outline. But that's not gonna be a problem because I'm gonna outline in black anyways, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm gonna continue painting. Okay, I got 1 side done, now it's time for the other side. Alrighty. First coat is done. I actually did a 2nd coat on just this piece because this is gonna be a piece of paper, and so that's gonna be white. I'm hoping 2 coats is enough on just that. But everything else has just 1 coat of white. I need to wait for this to dry before I can flip it and do the backside. My white is done, but I need to let it dry. So I'm gonna hang these to dry for like 30 minutes and then I'll paint the colors. The white is dry, and now I'm gonna move on to painting colors. The problem that I have is I have certain colors that I want on the front and the back. And so I'm gonna try my best not to waste any of my materials. So I was painting with a paper plate, but the problem with that was it's so hot in here and I have like 8 fans going that the paint was starting to dry on the paper plate and it was getting like stringy because of the fabric medium that's mixed with the paint. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix in this little glass bowl, and then I can cover it up while the front is drying before I paint the back. And so then I can have my paint hopefully not dry out and be fine. So let's get to it. Because the fabric already has the white, I'm not needing as much paint. So like I almost put too much on this first layer, and I know I'm gonna need another coat just because it is a little sheer, but it's going on very easy. Alrighty, I finished the blue on both sides. It is now time for the green portion of our programming. This is taking me a very long time, but I am really committed to this pair of pants. And if it doesn't turn out, well, the pants were like $7 at Goodwill, and the paint, we're not gonna talk about that, but I mean, I'll be out maybe $20. But I am hopeful it's gonna turn out good. It's gonna. My green is now done. And we're moving on to yellow. This is taking forever. I have almost all of my colors done. I need to do purples and reds next. So that's gonna be today. Finishing the jeans, hopefully. I have some leftover pink from yesterday, and so I'm gonna use that and just add a little bit of purple because I have to get some more variations of my books down here. And yeah, so gonna make some progress. Yay. I've officially finished painting. I did the reds, the oranges, I finished up the pencil. I'm gonna let this dry for about 30 minutes. The final thing that I need to do is outline in black. So here we go.
My heart is starting to beat a little faster. Oh, what a sweet.
All right, they're done. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm gonna go see what they look like on. All right, they're on, and they're fantastic. I'm so excited. These are amazing.